I was earlier I said if we have trouble stocking toilet paper on the shelves with supply chain problems, how many chips go into your aerospace components and aftermarket components in Pratt & Whitney? And how are you possibly navigating through these supply chain issues right now? And how difficult is it? And how'd you do it?
So interestingly, we've got about 13,000 product suppliers. We have an organization that goes out and does supplier quality assessments. We're on top of it with suppliers. The fact is, there are a lot of chips in a lot of our different products, from the electronic engine controllers to the radios and the comm systems to the missiles that we make in our missiles and defense business. So we're not unimpacted, but I would tell you we have been able to manage it. Now, the good news, again, the chips that are going into the auto industry and some of the consumer electronics today are typically 7-nanometer chips, right, or 7-nanometer microprocessors. The aerospace industry is predominantly on 40 nanometer. Okay, so this is last generation chips, which are easier to come by. So where we have seen some shortages of some components, we have been bringing material in ahead of time. The other thing is we do have long-term supply agreements that cover us in the short term, and we've also been able to go out and secure additional supply. So we're going to work it. Again, it's all part of that supply chain number. I talked about $400 million of revenue this year. The chips are a small piece of that. So in your press release, you got the first paragraph. It's like, I don't know, it's like 4 lines talking about how great demand has been and how good your performance is. Then you get right to it. So it must be, it must be important to you. And I had to look it up, and then after I looked it up, I was like, whoa. Anyway, scramjet is a supersonic ramjet. It's hypersonic air breathing. It goes 5 times the speed of sound, so we could get to where we need to be from a further place away even quicker than if we were closer with this thing. The reason you call it air breathing is, I guess, rocket fuel, you need the oxidating agent along with the rocket fuel. In this, you don't. You're low enough in the atmosphere to where you can get the oxidating agent from the air. That's why it's called air breathing. And it just must be unbelievable technology and 5 times the speed of sound. Right. So this is the first successful demonstration of a hypersonic weapon system. We were fortunate to partner with Northrop on this with the scramjet engine. And you said it exactly right. The beauty of a scramjet, you're going so fast through the atmosphere that you no longer have to run a compressor to compress the air and then ignite it. The air is being compressed by the mere speed of the vehicle itself, and it becomes self-sustaining. So it's a incredible technology. It's not new, but it's the first time it's been successfully demonstrated here in the U.S. I would tell you, though, Joe, we are behind. We are behind the Chinese. We are behind the Russians. And I think this is a great first step, but there's a lot more work to do on hypersonics, both on the offensive side, but more importantly on the defensive side.
The much ballyhooed announcement from China a couple of, when was that? It wasn't even months. I think it was weeks. Is that was actually went into orbit, didn't it? Or how does this get us closer to narrowing the gap between what they're talking about?
So the report in the Financial Times of the launch of the Chinese, what's called a hypersonic glide vehicle. This is something that you launch into low Earth orbit, and it bounces along the atmosphere. The reported speed was something like 22,000 miles an hour, which is incredible. Again, I can't really comment specifically on it. I believe that that's still all classified. But clearly, it is a technology where the Chinese have an advantage today.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.